I didn't quite get it to go. There we go. Maybe we're going. Innocence, the final gateway. So I was just doing a session with a client in Europe. Better not even tell the country. Just doing a session. And I love my work. It's beautiful, by the way. I'm so appreciative. And I'm not betraying any trust here. Don't worry. Everything's anonymous if you work with me. On the spiritual path, there's so many different schools. This particular person had worked with Osho's organization, with Nisargadatta, non-duality, with Elizabeth Clare Prophet, her channelings, with Jesus directly himself, so forth. All these things we do. Yoga, Yogananda, yoga teachers, this, that, and the other. Even when we come out of religionism and we move into this sort of more direct, actual spirituality, it's still, we can know all those things. But like every master teacher says, unless you become as little children, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. The final step is often that level of innocence. It is the innocence. Now, not naivete, not stupidity, or not naive, but the wise innocence. I often use the example of who is farther along in the Western paradigm now, in the biblical Judeo-Christian paradigm, Moses or Solomon or Jesus. Moses is the old-style prophet. Solomon is wiser. He's the wizard. He's the wizard of wisdom. But even that, and Solomon can float rocks. He can build the temple, the ancient Egyptian secret mysteries, the masons, all that. He's a wizard, Solomon. But the Christ child, whether it's Krishna, same exact story. The baby child trying to be killed by the evil kings. It's the same story. Krishna story, Jesus story, Horus story. The child, the innocence, the wise innocence, is farther along. It's actually the final gateway. The final gateway, after you have all the wizardry, the wise doom, the wisdom of Solomon, or whatever, the final step is still choosing innocence. All that non-duality stuff is still mental. Advaita is true. But what often the Advaitaists forget, these non-duality stuff, they forget to include innocence, humor, being human. There's still a subtle wanting to be finished with being human. We often say, in the spiritual community, well, I sure don't want to come back here again, meaning to earth, to flesh, to body, to sex, to emotions. What kind of judgment is that? That's kind of being pretty harsh. Judgment has been paused and now we're back. What kind of judgment is that? I don't want to come back to earth. This is a piece of shit. That's not very subtle. How much we hate physical. How much we hate body. What a heavy judgment we have against feeling emotions. So the final gateway is, become ye as little children. And that means being open with your transparent, the opposite pretty much of presidential debates. But it's not their fault. It's your fault. It's my fault. It's our fault. people get the government they deserve, Benjamin Franklin said. Who does that put the onus on? Us. What is it we don't want to know? Where are we scheming? Where are we willing to sell our souls for the money? And so we scapegoat that into, or look the other way, etc. So the final gateway, no matter how much you study, the secret hermetic teachings of Manly P. Hall, it's all cool. I'm not saying against it. Quantum physics, 0 point stuff. My dad was into it. Some of my friends are physicists that are totally into that stuff. It's fun. But it's no ledge. Knowledge. It's the ledge of knowing. You need to jump off the ledge to get in the water. In order to have the same amount of play as these puppies do, I got the dogs out here with me. You need to jump off the ledge of knowing. Oh, the seventh dimension, 144,000 dimensions, quantum physics, 0. Okay, fine. It's fun to explore. I'm not saying anything wrong in it. But if you place your soul, your heart, your source in the no ledge, you're doomed to stand on that ledge forever, wondering if I should jump in the water. So many times when I work with people that have been through the spiritual ringer, this person had, studying for years, teacher, yoga teacher, this, that, and the other, all kinds of traditions, various schools, Osho, etc., Yogananda, Nisargadatta, Advaita, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, channelings, this, that, and the other, right? Yeah, a lot of those are sometimes just to exhaust you. Do them. You need to do your path. You need to follow the next step, like Carl Jung says. The next step that has been brought to you by fate is the most important step you can and should take. Do your journey. But a lot of you that have been on the spiritual path for a long time, the final step is back into innocence. In no sense, we are born. And so begins this sojourn. All right. And that's the heart. Feel your puppy. If you get too spiritual and too much into knowledge, whether it's scientism or spiritual scientism, if you get too stuck into it, go see what your golden retrievers are up to. I want to get a shot of them for you. There's just a few here. Where's Bentley here? Bentley, where you at? Come here, B. There's Juan. And here's Gab Gab. That's a Gabba Gabba. Love you, darling. Love you, darling. Don't step on the cord. All right. Yeah. So every master teacher, whether it's Krishna, Buddha, whatever, Buddha doesn't talk about it, or it's not promulgated that much, it's not mentioned that much about the innocence. But Jesus and Krishna are the embodiments of the divine child, literally. So, you need to go through the wisdom, and then you need to feel the wise doom, wisdom, wise doom, right? It's like Harry Potter School of Wizardry. The wizardry is a dead end, unless you have a heart, which Harry Potter does. He still has a heart. The other guys don't. All right. Much love. Hope that makes some sense. Let's see if this video took.